Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian, we're going to be ready to roll in about 5 minutes. About 4 minutes now.
I was just taking a whiz. You with me, Dave? Dave, are you there, Dave?
You there, Brian?
I am here, Dave. Are you there, Dave?
We are. We can hear you.
Okay, here's what I have discovered. I cannot do this in Adobe Audition. Program 4 feeds Adobe
Okay. Just give me like 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, just enough I can send a sample. Okay, that'll be all right. I appreciate it. We'll roll in 2 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that'll work. Roll in 1 minute. All right, bud. Thanks. You got sports tomorrow?
No. Nothing going on tomorrow.
Did you watch any games last night?
I was not home until about 8. The Pitt game was on with West Virginia. I didn't see any of that.
I watched. That's the game I watched, and it was good enough it kept me up all the way.
Yeah.
Thanks, bub. Can you feed us programming at least on this, on the open?
And the
Got it. Thank you.
I didn't see who won
Pitt game?
the coin flip.
Oh, I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't either. Well, here we go. Can't hear the.
I can't hear it, but that's all right.
I think we'll hear the bump.
The voice of the Carterville Lions, Dave McKenzie.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Herrin High School. It's Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. Week 2 of your high school football season, and the Lions coming off that impressive 28-0 win a week ago over the Benton Rangers. And Scott Hudson, the Herrin Tigers, coming off a hard-fought loss at Marion a week ago, 21-0.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people thought that game would even be close, but it was 8-0 going into the fourth quarter, and Marion's size and depth really wore the Tigers down in the fourth quarter and helped them to the 21-0 win. But I think Coach Perry of Herrin has to feel pretty good about what he saw, especially from his defense. So I think, before the season started, a lot of people thought, with what Carterville's got coming back, Herrin's program has struggled in recent years. This might be a blowout as well. But I think after what happened last weekend, people probably want to reassess that.
I tell you what, in Carterville, we'll start with the Carterville Lions. It was defined by the play of the line on both sides of the ball a week ago against Benton.
No question, and it's called coach speak. It's called a cliche, but you win games on the line of scrimmage. And Carterville's offensive line did an outstanding job of opening holes for Bryce Smith, Nolan Hartford. The Lions had 306 rushing yards last Friday night, and defensively, guys like Talon Walker, Jordan Cordes, Zachariah Miller, and Riley Bradford did an outstanding job of getting in the backfield and disrupting plays before they could develop.
Talking about the running game, it was Bryce Smith that was outstanding. He had 20 carries, 176 yards officially, averaged about 8 yards a carry. He was the workhorse for the Lions.
Yeah, no question. And Coach Dial told us after the game how much time and effort that Bryce had put in the offseason, lifting weights, getting stronger, adding more muscle, making himself a quicker player, and he showed that the other night.
Absolutely. Herrin on the other side, as you mentioned, held Marion to 8-0 entering the fourth quarter, and I think they surprised a lot of people when they played Marion tough.
Especially defensively. They forced 3 Marion turnovers. Now, Marion did leave some points on the field. I was there for the second half, and Marion had a couple of guys wide open that probably would have been touchdowns. One was in the end zone, and another close to the end zone that the quarterback and receiver just did not connect. But still, Herrin's defense played very, very well. It's their offense that has really struggled the last couple of years.
This is your John A. Logan College pregame show as we are getting you set for Carterville Lions football. And, of course, as always, if you would like, you can watch and listen to the game. If you can't make it over to Herrin, just head over to YouTube and just search Carterville Lions at Herrin Tigers. Put in the date September 2. Can you believe it's September?
It's already September. Labor Day's Monday. And that, to me, that's kind of the unofficial ending of summer for me. Once you get to Labor Day, you're into September. It's time for cooler weather.
I hope you'll join us. Hope you make it over here. You still got time as we're about 12 minutes or so away from kickoff from with the Carterville Lions and the Herrin Tigers here on News Radio WJPF.
SIU credit.
Coach Brett Dial joins us on our pregame show. Coach, a week ago, a 28-0 shutout. What did you learn about your team after week one?
You know, after looking at the film and during the game, I was really proud of our line play. I thought our line really got off the football and was very fit.
Coach Brett Dial joins us on our pregame show. Coach, a week ago, a 28-0 shutout. What did you learn about your team after week one?
You know, after looking at the film and during the game, I was really proud of our line play. I thought our line really got off the football and was very physical. And, you know, I think going into week one, I was expecting to have a little bit more balance in the offensive run and pass. But, you know, kind of what the front that Benton was giving us and the way our linemen were playing, we ended up running the thing for 50 times, over 300. And we've told our guys, you know, we have a lot of different ways we can attack people. If we find something that's working, we're going to stick with it until they stop it. And I was happy to see a pretty solid running performance on that first night.
And now that running performance, you got to be really happy with Bryce Smith. What a game.
Yeah, Bryce had just a phenomenal offseason. He really got after it, you know, kind of got himself a personal trainer and really improved himself in all aspects, got quicker, kind of trimmed down a little bit. And he's just a tough physical kid. And his number got called Friday night as our starter in the backfield, and he made the most of it.
I was impressed with the defensive line play.
Yeah, you know, that's a group that we have a lot of expectations on. I mean, that whole unit is back. They've got a ton of experience up front. And they're guys that really have high motors. You know, when you're talking about Cordis and Miller and Bradford and really Walker, all four of those guys play with a lot of energy and fly to the football. And they're a tough matchup for an offensive line, especially a younger one.
You're playing cross-county rival Herrin Tigers. What do you see in Herrin?
You know, they're a dangerous team because they just have a lot of really strong athletes on the field, and you know, you just have to really make sure you know what you're doing. You don't let anybody run free, because if some of these guys get in the open, they're gone. They're some of the elite sprinters in the state. So we've got to make sure we know what our assignments are and play very disciplined football and make sure that we don't leave anybody left alone.
And the fact that it's your first road game of the season.
Right. I mean, it's a 10-minute bus ride, so that part really. I mean,
We'll take this every week.
Yeah. I mean, it's a road trip, but I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, honestly, it's not a bad thing to have a little bit of a bus ride to kind of get focused in and zoned in. We walk through on our field at 4:30 and do about a 15-minute walk through, and then have about a 10 to 15-minute drive to kind of think about what our roles are, get here, get set up, and get after it.
Coach, good luck tonight, and we'll talk in the postgame.
All right, appreciate it.
I can tell you one thing, Scott Hudson. I know that radio broadcasters that we like 10-minute road trips.
Oh, that's perfect. And really this year we're not going to have a lot of major road trips. We have to go to DuQuoin, have to go to Harrisburg. Who am I leaving out? Well, Herrin tonight, and then one other. Madison on a Saturday afternoon, which isn't bad. That's better than a Friday night.
Yep. There you heard from Coach Brett now as we continue on our John A. Logan College pregame show here on News Radio WJPF.
So much time in the day. That's why People's National Bank makes banking easy and convenient with P&B To Go mobile banking. P&B To Go allows you to deposit checks, pay bills, transfer money between accounts, view your statements.
Welcome back to Herrin High School for Friday night football. The Carterville Lions preparing to take on the Herrin Tigers in a special moment here, Scott Hudson, for Herrin in their pregame ceremonies.
Yeah, of course, Bruce Jalack, who was a staple here at Herrin High School when it comes to athletics, a great softball coach. I had him as a football coach when I played here. Just a great coach, and went on to John A. Logan, did great things there as well. And then also a young girl by the last name of Eubanks that passed away.
We're going to go on and take another break here on our John A. Logan pregame show. Stay with us. Starting lineups and the kickoff are coming up on News Radio WJPF.
You don't have.
For the Carterville Lions, and a safety, number 4, a senior,
Happy Friday, everybody. Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson, as we are getting you set for Carterville Lions football on the road tonight facing the Herrin Tigers. Carterville coming off that 28-0 win a week ago. Herrin coming off that Week 1 loss on the road at Marion, 21-0. And what are you expecting here, Scott Hudson?
Well, I expect Herrin to come out fired up. I think they're going to play with a lot of emotion, especially early on. Even though they lost last week at Marion, a lot of good things happened for their team. I think for Carterville, it's doing the same things you did last week. A couple of things they need to clean up on. The snaps from the center to Hellriegel. There were too many on the ground on the turf last week. I'm sure that'll be corrected. And last week, although this wasn't a factor, Carterville was only 2 of 10 on third downs. That might have to change tonight.
Absolutely, and Carterville just now starting to come back to the turf here at Harrison Bruce Stadium, and that field looks fantastic.
This may be the only natural turf we play on all year. I think everywhere else we play
I think you're
has
right.
turf, so this will be something a little different. And, footing's going to be a little different for Carterville because they're not used to playing on this, but as long as you run north and south, it really doesn't matter.
That's exactly right. As the Lions now, the starting lineups for the Herrin Tigers were just announced. The Lions making their way into the stadium and supporting the Carterville Lions flag, the American flag. The boys in their all-white road uniforms. Herrin in their solid black with the orange stripes and the big white numbers on the back. And a beautiful night for football in Southern Illinois. Really looking forward to this matchup here this evening. A week ago, it was so darn muggy, Scott. Man, you were sweating like you were in a shower.
Well, I did bring
and
a towel.
You had 2 fans on your side.
Yeah, I did. And, fat people sweat more. That's all I can say. So there you go. But it's been overcast all day, so there's obviously no sun now, but the humidity is still up a little bit. Cramping could be an issue in this game like it was last week, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, both teams are done with their pregame ceremonies. Herrin's finishing theirs up. I think they're going to announce the Carterville defense. I think they've already done that. Now they're working on the Herrin offense. And, of course, it's going to be Reese Billingsley, a name that we know very well from basketball, that is going to be the QB for the Herrin Tigers.
Yeah, he was a quarterback last week. He's a converted running back. He's never really played quarterback before, and it showed in his first game last week. He was only 6 of 18 for 73 yards in that game, and a lot of times he didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. So I think it's almost imperative for Carterville in those obvious passing situations to get pressure on him, force him to take off and try to make a throw on the run.
A year ago, it was the all Carterville in the 46-6 win at home against Herrin. Brett Dial comes in to the game tonight with a 16-10 record. Overall, .625 winning percentage, and you know that he's really wanting to get back-to-back wins here at Herrin. Like you mentioned in our pregame on the field, Carterville hasn't won here at Herrin.
No, you take away last year's game, the other 3 games have been very, very close. Carterville lost 2 close games here, and then a few years ago before COVID hit, Herrin came and won the game with 8 seconds to go on a touchdown pass. So these 2 teams have played close games other than last year, and why wouldn't you expect the same thing again tonight?
Absolutely. As the teams are starting to make their way onto the field, we appreciate you tuning in to Carterville Lions Sports here on your home for Carterville High School Sports Action News Radio WJPF. And if you would like to watch the game, you can, of course, head to YouTube, search Carterville Lions at Herrin Tigers. Looks like Carterville is going to be kicking off, and the Herrin Tigers will receive the kickoff. And back deep for Herrin, it is Carice Lukens and number 10, Chris Nelson, that will do the running. And those are some speedsters back there.
They both won state titles. Carice as part of the relay team. Of course, Nelson was part of that relay team, so he won 2 championships because he won the 100-meter dash as a freshman. So you got to keep the ball away from those two.
Everybody set. The ball's teed at the 40 on the near hash. And the kick from Carterville's Riley Crane is a squib kick, and it's taken at the 10-yard line by Nelson. He cuts it up across the 20, taking it to the far side of the field, trying to get to the outside, finally wrapped up and slung out of bounds onto the track over on the far sideline. And that's good field position for the Herrin Tigers to start off.
Yeah, Nelson picked the ball up around the 10-yard line on the near sideline and took it all the way across the field. And Herrin's going to have first down from their own 30, 34, 33-yard line. One thing we need to mention, Talon Walker, the starting defensive end for Carterville, is available tonight in an emergency situation. He's got kind of a bum ankle, so Bryce Smith slides into that outside defensive end position, and the sophomore, Luke Johnson, will fill the linebacker spot.
Jakai Vaughn is the fullback, and the tailback is Chris Nelson. Where's number 10? Is Reese Billingsley is looking there. The play clock is finally reset to 25, and everybody is set to go. As Billingsley is under center, and going to give it to his tailback. That's Nelson as he takes it right up the gut, and he's finally plowed down at about the 39-yard line. About a 5-yard gain on that first carry.
Yeah, good blocking between the tackles for Herrin. Nelson's not really a guy you would expect to run between the tackles with his speed. You'd think they would try to get him to the outside.
2nd and 4 for the Herrin Tigers from the 39. Gain of 6 on that. They're going to bring the receiver near side. That is Evan Watson. Watson's spread out here on the near sideline. One receiver to the far right, Billingsley under center. Takes the snap, gives it to his fullback, and it's
Fumble.
dropped. And the Carterville Lions fall right on it. And the first turnover of the game belongs to Carterville as that was recovered by Bryce Smith.
I do not know who made the hit, but that ball went backwards. And I think it might have been the sophomore Johnson that fell on it. Well, Carterville with a big break here early in the first quarter.
Carterville gets it right up back. Just a minute gone here in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10 with the ball at the 38-yard line. Carterville has receiver left, receiver right. And the snap as Helbriegel gives it to his running back, and guess that's Bryce Smith on the carry. And it's going to be a gain of about 4 for the Carterville Lions.
Now, Bryce Smith, he's the workhorse for this team, and that offensive line did such a good job last weekend against Benton. They did a very good job on the left side on that play.
Ball placed down at the 34-yard line, 2nd down and 6 as we're under 11 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. No score. 2 receivers to the right for Carterville. They put the man in motion. That is Bryce Smith. They give it to the halfback. That is Carterville's Nolan Hartford, as he scampers his way for a first down, cut right through the hole. Big gap. Nice job by the O-line opening that hole.
Well, a great job by Hartford to hit that opening as quickly as he did. It looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
The first down belongs to your Carterville Lions. The ball is at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Andrew Helbriegel is the captain of the ship, takes a low snap, gives it to his running back, S. Smith, and then he's wrapped up by about 4 Herrin Tigers right there for a loss. And that low snap, there was a ton of those a week ago. They can't have that tonight.
No, not against this Herrin defense who played very well last week. I think I'd have to that may be the first time this year that Carterville has lost yards on a running play.
Ball's at the 26-yard line. It's 2nd down and 13. Loss of 3 on that last play. The throw is caught out on the far side. And that is Blake Berkey with the reception, picking up about, probably 8 yards or so on that, bringing up 3rd down now.
Well, you talk about threading the needle.
Boy.
He got that between 2 Herrin defenders, and give Berkey credit for making a really good catch because that was a howitzer.
3rd and 5 now from the 18-yard line. Two receivers to the right side for the Lions. Put a man in motion. They give it to the fullback. That is Nolan Hartford as he cuts it up and inside the 5-yard line for the Lions. And, man, Nolan Hartford has got the speed wheels on tonight.
The thing about Hartford is everybody's going to key on Bryce Smith because of what he did last week. But don't forget, Nolan Hartford last week, 8 carries, 67 yards with an average of almost 8.5 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns.
First and goal for the Lions from the 5-yard line. Two receivers left. They put Smith in motion. He catches the pass and cuts his way into the end zone, but there's a flag back at the 4-yard line.
Illegal shift by Carterville.
And that's going to bring it back, Scott Hudson. And the first penalty now belongs to the Carterville Lions.
Could have been somebody. Could be somebody may have moved towards the line of scrimmage before the snap.
So that will take the points off the board. Bryce Smith was out there in the open, just cut his way back into the end zone, but the flag from the backside side judge.
You know, those are, for a coach, that is a tough penalty to swallow because, you know, you're going to have holding calls, you know, something like that. But when it's a motion penalty, you know, that's something that should really never happen. I mean, that's just staying focused on what you're supposed to do with every play.
Red zone opportunity here for the Lions. The ball right on the 10, so it's first and goal from the 10 for Carterville. They send trips to the far side. Hellriegel drops back, thinks about throwing, has some pressure, gets away, cuts it up inside, and he's drugged down from behind at about the 6-yard line. It's going to bring up a second and goal from the 6.
Well, Hellriegel did a good job to get away from the initial rush and was able to go up the middle and get about 5 yards.
Yes, he did. Good pressure, though, from the Herrin Tigers. Second and goal from the 6-yard line for the Lions. And it's the give to Nolan Hartford. Spin move at the goal line. Are they going to give it to him? The ball may have come loose. And it was fumbled in the end zone. What's the call as the officials get together?
Herrin
They're
ball.
going to say Herrin football. The Lions fumble the ball right at the goal line. Nolan Hartford the carry. And I think he got spun as he got to the goal line and got popped. The ball comes out and a delayed call by the officials. But each team now with a fumble here early on in this contest.
Well, Carterville has a touchdown called back because of an illegal shift. Then what looked like a touchdown, or at least would have been third and short within the 1-yard line, they fumbled the ball. And it was hard to tell from where we're at because there were so many bodies down there. I don't know if Hartford may have tried to reach that ball to the goal line, and that's when it got knocked out. Actually, they recovered it in the end zone, so they're going to bring it out to the 20.
Yep. They'll have it first and 10 from the 20-yard line. So, and another penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct apparently is what brought the ball out to the 20-yard line. That may be
that may be it.
So, fumbles by each team. And Herrin Tigers have the football. 8 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Billingsley from the shotgun. It's a quick pitch to the outside. And on the carry for the Lions, it's Lucas Sissom. And Carterville's defense was right there to bring him down.
Jordan Cordes came. He beat his block to the outside and wrapped Sissom up for about a 4-yard loss.
It's going to be second down, loss of 4 officially, so it's second and 14 with the ball at the ball is at the 16-yard line. I'm sorry, just all turned around here. Okay, second down for Herrin. Billingsley again will operate from the shotgun. As a running back to his right hip, puts a man in motion. That is Nelson. And the end around as Nelson cuts it toward the near sideline. He's spun down by about 2 or 3 Carterville Lions. Was that a quick pitch or was it a fumble?
That play looked like it was messed up from the very start. I don't know what happened there. Nelson was going in motion to the far side, and the next thing you know, he's got the ball and he's coming to the near sideline. So there was definitely, I guess.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, they get the ball to the 15, so it's 3rd and 15.
Yeah, and this is where Herrin's in an obvious passing situation. Carterville's defensive backs have got to make sure that they stay on the speedsters for Herrin.
30-yard line is the yard to gain. Billingsley drops back, looks to throw. Has some pressure, wrapped up right there by the Carterville defense. And that is going to bring up 4th down. And, boy, that Carterville defensive line did their job right there.
They did their job, but the guy who came in and got the sack was the sophomore, Luke Johnson, who is starting for the injured Talon Walker. So the turnover, yeah, it's tough not to get points off that nice drive, but then you get a 3-and-out, and Carterville should get great field position.
4th and 20 now for the Herrin Tigers. Billingsley is back to do the punting. Carterville sends Peyton Biddle deep. He gets the kick away. It's short. Biddle comes up, backs off of it. It hits at the 39-yard line and gets a Herrin Tiger roll, and it is down right there at the 43-yard line. So each team with a fumble, and Carterville forces the change of possession, and they get the ball back here with 5:37 remaining in the opening quarter.
We saw a little bit of this last week, Dave, where Carterville had some drives, but once they got in the red zone, either they turned it over on downs. You remember Hellriegel got the ball stripped from behind on one drive last week. You know, Carterville's got to finish these nice drives out with points.
Great field position, though, for the Lions here as they have it at the Herrin 43. 5:37 here on the first quarter clock. Carterville gives it to the running back. That is Bryce Smith. Wraps both arms around the football, falls forward to the 41-yard line. Short gain of about 2.5 yards for Carterville.
Herrin's.
So 5:15 remaining here in the opening quarter. 2nd and 8 from the 41. Hellriegel has 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the far side. Ball on the far hash, puts his running back in motion. Swing pass out to Blake Berkey, trying to get the block, cuts to the outside, falls forward to the 35-yard line. That's where they're marking him down. He's going to be about 2 yards short, bringing up 3rd down for the Lions.
I think we got a flag on the play. May have been holding on Carterville.
Yeah, so that's a big penalty right there. That'll back him up after the nice catch and throw for the Lions.
Well, every time Carterville has a nice play, it seems like there's either a penalty or a turnover.
So instead of 3rd and 2, it's going to be 2nd and 17 for the Lions. The ball at midfield right at the 50-yard line.
And on that play, they throw the ball quickly out to the wide receiver, and the other wide receivers to get the block on the defensive back, and apparently he held him.
Hellriegel from the shotgun. Little swing pass out to the left side. Peyton Biddle has it. Gets away from the defender and gets hit over on the far sideline. Got a big chunk of that yardage back. And now it's going to be a 3rd down and about 4 now for the Lions.
Yeah, good job by Biddle to miss the initial defender. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And let's see what Carterville can come up with here.
3rd and 6 officially for the Lions. The ball is at the 39. 2 receivers right, 1 to the far side. Hellriegel rolls to his right, looks to throw, throws it out. Ball was tipped, but it's caught. That is Carterville's Jordan Cordes as he picks up the 1st down and more all the way to the 21-yard line. And what a nice little swing pass from Hellriegel to Jordan Cordes.
Well, Carterville sent 2 guys deep, so that takes away the underneath, and that's exactly where Cordes went. He went about 10 yards. Nobody was there, and boy, did he lower a hit.
Yes, he did. 1st and 10 from the 21. It's the give to the running back. That's Bryce Smith. Makes a move to the outside, keeps his legs, keeps fighting, and gets down to about the 15, inside the 15. And a nice 1st down run from number 13.
Cordes is a player we knew coming into this season was going to be called upon to do more in the passing game. Another flag on the play.
Where's the flag at?
I do not see the flag.
No, it's over. Is it the far sideline right in front of the stick?
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, it's a line. It's a
sideline.
No, they're going to mark it off.
It's going to be against Carterville, so that's going to back them up. Sideline infraction.
Now, I thought on a sideline infraction you get a warning.
I did too.
I never saw a warning in this game, but I could have missed it.
So it'll be second down. Usually there is a warning the first time, but ball is at the 19. It's going to be second down and 8 for the Lions. Couple of big penalties for the Lions. Hellriegel lobs the pass down the right side. That is Carterville's there for the touchdown, and that is Cade Lustenberger that picks up his first touchdown of the season.
Lustenberger's got the size. If you just throw it up, he can go get it. And a perfectly thrown ball by Hellriegel. He put enough air underneath it that Lustenberger could run underneath the pass in the back of the end zone. And the basketball star makes a big play in football.
The 6'5" basketball star for the Carterville Lions at the 2:46 mark of the first quarter. Carterville leads it 6-0. On for the extra point.
And now they got Herrin to jump, so look for Carterville to maybe bring the offense back on the field.
Running for the two-point play. Riley
and
Crane's
here they come.
Here comes. look at.
It's like a Chinese fire drill.
Zach Miller comes charging off the sideline. So instead of the 1-point extra point attempt, it's going to be the 2-point conversion attempt. Ball is at the 1.5. Hellriegel is on the field. He has Bryce Smith on his left hip, falls him right in, and the 2-point conversion is good on the carry by the quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel. And with 2:46 remaining in the first quarter, Carterville leads this game 8-0. Stay with us. More on News Radio WJPF. There's not anything I can do about it right now.
Oh, okay.
8-0 the score. Carterville Lions lead the Herrin Tigers, and the kickoff has already taken place, and Herrin has the football. And really good field position. Scott Hudson is they're going to place it at their own 42-yard line.
Carterville's willing to give up an extra 15 to 20 yards if it means keeping the ball out of Lucan's hands or Nelson's hands. They do not want those two to touch the ball and have a lot of operating room on a kickoff.
1st and 10 from the 42 for the Herrin Tigers. Carterville leads at 8-0 after the 19-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Cade Lustenberger. Reese Billingsley, the quarterback, this time back under center. Gives it to his running back. That is Chris Nelson on the carry as he takes it out. Gain of about 8 yards on that carry, and man, he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, he's not a super big guy as far as thickness, but he's got speed. And, you know, the first time he carried the ball up the middle, he gained about 5 or 6 yards. He gained about seven there.
Yeah, officially 7, so it's 2nd and 3 now. Ball rest at the 49-yard line. Beautiful night for football and a great crowd. Carterville traveled well over on the far side. Neon night for the student section on the far sideline. Billingsley from under center takes a snap, turns around, gives it to Nelson once again, makes a couple of sidestep moves and falls forward, and Herrin just picked up their very first down of the contest.
Yeah, a little elusive once he got to the line of scrimmage, made a couple of little jukes and was able to pick up the first down. I saw all those students over there. My first thought was, well, they must be having some construction done on the roads around here.
Yeah, it's like they're on break.
Oh, they're on break. Okay.
They're on break.
Might be a long lunch tonight.
That's exactly what it looks like. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Tigers from the 47-yard line. They have the ball in Carterville territory. Billingsley has a receiver to his left. Billingsley turns around, gives it to his fullback. He's stacked up right there. Doesn't get anything And there for a second, I thought maybe the ball came out as Zach Miller got rolled up with one of the linemen. I think that was Luke Hatley for Herrin.
Well, there's no love lost between these two schools. It doesn't matter what sport it is.
Under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. 2nd down and 10 now with the ball at the 47 for the Tigers. Billingsley, again a receiver to the left side. Turns around and it's the pitch to Nelson. And Carterville's right there for a loss. Man, they had that one snuffed out as Nelson took the pitch. And Cordes, and now we got dual flags come in. That'll be unsportsmanlike. There's a lot of chatter on that
and
field.
I think this might go against Herrin. But back to the play, Aiden Hinton came in from his linebacker position and shut that play off, forced it to go on the inside, and there was a lot of Lions there to help.
And sportsmanlike on the Herrin Tigers, so that's going to back them up even further. They were looking at a 3rd down and 10. But now they're going to march the ball all the way back to, let's see where they wind up stopping, right at the 30-yard line.
Well, it's pretty obvious, Dave, that the officials are not going to put up with any stuff tonight. So I think both coaches, even before halftime, need to talk to their players. Look, fellas, this is an emotional game, but you've got to keep your emotions in check.
So it's 3rd down and 33. Wonder if they'll throw. Billingsley looks. He does look to throw. Lobs it up the left side. And his receiver had his defender beat by about a step. And the intended receiver was Kyrese Lukens. And on the coverage out there for Carterville was Braden Wakey. And if that's a good pass, he's running all night.
Well, that's, again, Kyrese Lukens, a very, very good athlete, a star basketball player. Literally came out for football this year about 3 days before the first official practice. And he will help this team. He's only a sophomore.
So Herrin Tigers are forced into a 4th down. It's 4th and 33, 19 seconds on the clock. Gets the kick away. Peyton Biddle is back, and he's just going to let it roll. And it's down at the 33-yard line with 19.9 seconds on the clock. Doesn't appear that there was any time went off. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Steve and Rich's Barber Styling, a full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville. They are open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturday, 8 to 2. Carterville's going to have the ball here to wrap up this first quarter. 19 seconds remaining, and they've got it 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Carterville sends 3 receivers to the right. Hillregal from the shotgun, drops back, throws it left side though. Short, quick pass out to the far side, and a flag was thrown as it's at about the 31-yard line.
Illegal shift again on Carterville. I don't know what they're doing. I don't. It's illegal shift. I guess somebody is moving towards the line of scrimmage before the snap of the ball. And it could be a wide receiver who knows his number's being called.
Could be.
And he's trying to get a head start, but Carterville's pushed back 5.
So it's 1st and 15 now from the 27. Hellriegel looks to throw, throws it out to the right side. That is Bryce Smith, caught and wrapped up, but he keeps his legs.
Why did
churning.
they stop? I don't know why they blew the play dead. He was still upright, was still trying to get away.
That's the end of the first quarter. Carterville leads this game 8-0. Stay with us. Second quarter action is next on News Radio WJPF.
At the Bank of Herrin, we know that between family and work, it can be a challenge.
Yes, 30 after the scores, Brian. 8-0 our score as we head to the second quarter. Carterville has it second and 14. The ball at the 28-yard line. The the give out on the far side up to about the 35-yard line, maybe a little bit short on the carry by the Lions.
Yeah, Tartford on the right side. His number's been called already more tonight than it was against Benton last week. That'll bring up about 3rd and 8 for Carterville on their own 34. Big play here for both teams.
Yes, it is. A lot of penalties. Carterville's had several penalties that have killed them here early. So it's 3rd down and 8 from the 33. Puts a man in motion, gives it to the running back, and another whistle is going to stop the play.
Timeout, Carterville.
Timeout called by Coach Brett Dial. We'll take a break as well. 8-0 is our score here in the second quarter. Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Don't let the name. What you want?
Go 60.
30 or 60?
60, please. 60.
Coming back.
Eight to nothing score after the timeouts. This Lions broadcast brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Local 702, proud supporter of Carterville Lions Sports. IBEW Local 702, dedicated to providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. It's 3rd down and 8 for Carterville. The ball sets at the 34-yard line. Ball's at the far hash. They have 3 receivers here to the near side. In the backfield, that's Bryce Smith. Hellriegel takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, feels some pressure, has to get rid of it, and does. Nice job by the Carterville quarterback to get rid of that pressure as he was outside the tackle box. There's no intentional grounding in high school if you do that now.
Nope. Just throw the ball, got rid of it instead of taking a sack. So this may be this. And that's the other thing. There was nobody near it, but
all he's got to do is throw it back toward the line of scrimmage. It wasn't intentional. That's a rule change this year. As long as he gets the ball back to the line of scrimmage, he can throw it away. 4th down now for Carterville.
Really, Carterville's going to go for it. Wow.
Ball's at the 34-yard line. Big play here early for the Lions. They have the 8-0 lead. Now they drop back, and it's going to be Bryce Smith that does the punting for Carterville. Good snap. Gets the kick away. Good kick. As it's going to hit at about the 33-yard line. Take a hop back to about the 32-yard line, and that is where the Herrin Tigers are going to start it as they trail it 8-0. What do you think so far, Scott Hudson?
Well, Carterville should honestly be up by 2 scores. They had the touchdown called back on an illegal shift. Then the very next play, they got the ball down to inside the 1 and fumbled into the end zone. Now they ended up getting a 3-and-out on Herrin that next drive, and Carterville scored. But I think Carterville's been their own worst enemy tonight, especially offensively with these penalties. They just seem to come at the wrong time. And that's something that's going to have to be corrected.
High emotions.
Yeah,
I think
again, you have to play with controlled chaos.
Exactly. So Herrin has it at their own 32-yard line. And it's the give to Nelson. Tries to cut to the outside. Carterville puts pressure on him. He's got to get to the line of scrimmage. Makes a little shake and bake move. Finally hit at the 31-yard line. And it's going to be a loss of 1 on the carry by Chris Nelson, the running back for the Herrin Tigers.
Yeah, he ran about 25 yards to lose 1. I mean, he's very elusive as you can tell. And Carterville had a couple chances to get him in the backfield, but finally the pursuit was good by the Lions and got him out of bounds after a 1-yard loss.
2nd and 11 from the 31. As the head coach for the Herrin Tigers, Taylor Perry. 2nd and 11. Billingsley from under center. Turns around, has the ball, rolls to his left, flips it out to the right, and the pass was a little bit too far ahead of Lucas Sissom, who was the intended receiver. It falls incomplete, and now it's 3rd down for the Tigers.
And that's what I'm talking about, making Billingsley have to throw the ball on the run. It was Riley Bradford pressuring him from behind, and he had to throw against his body out in the flat, and it was incomplete, and now a big 3rd down for both teams here.
I think that may have been only the 3rd throw for Billingsley so far, and he's not completed one.
No, he overthrew a wide receiver right in front of us in the first quarter, and that pass was short.
10-12 remaining here in the second quarter. It's 3rd down and 11 from the 31. Billingsley under center this time. Drops back, looks to throw, has pressure, steps up, makes a move, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and Carterville's defensive line did another nice job getting to the quarterback, making some noise for him, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 11 now.
Well, 2 linebackers were responsible for that sack, Eli Mooring and that sophomore again, Luke Johnson. He's been everywhere here in this first half. Remember, he's having to start tonight because Bryce Smith having to play defensive end because Talon Walker is nursing a bad ankle.
Billingsley did a good job to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 4th and 11, and Herrin is looking to punt once again. Peyton Biddle sets at the 35-yard line. Low snap. Billingsley gets the kick away somehow, some way, and it goes over toward the far sideline.
Heck of a roll for Herrin.
And yes, it is, as it's down at the 43-yard line. Nice job. And Carterville is going to have it in outstanding field position once again with the 9:21 showing on the first half clock. Coming up, we'll have our Infinity Realty halftime report. We'll update scores from around Southern Illinois. Ball is at their own 43-yard line. Everybody sets. Carterville moving right to left. They have their road white uniforms here. First road game of the season as it's a give to Bryce Smith. Puts his hand on the lineman, just follows him right along, picks up about 4. They might give him 5 on that carry. And we saw that last week. He definitely trusts those big pulling linemen and gets right in behind them.
If I was running behind them, I would be on their back. Just carry me.
I know.
They do a great job. Herrin's defensive front has done a very good job tonight so far, but if Carterville can get 3, 4, 5 yards a clip, they're going to be in good shape.
Officially just a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Now once again it's Bryce Smith on the carry, puts his head down, just keeps chugging, falls forward to midfield right at the 50, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and short now for the Lions.
Depending on what Carterville does on this play, if they don't get the first down but don't lose any yards, I would not be surprised if they would go for it on 4th down.
I would agree.
But let's just get the first down and not worry about it.
Absolutely. Bryce Smith on the left-hand side of the quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel. Believe that, don't know who that is on the far side. They put Smith in motion. Low snap. They give it to Nolan Hartford, and he picks up the first down for Carterville. Hard run there by Hartford, and the first down for the Lions.
Hartford is a nice change of pace compared to Bryce Smith. Bryce Smith will survey the situation. He will, as you said, put his hand on the back of a blocker. Hartford just gets it and said, well, if there's not a hole there, I'm going to make one myself.
1st and 10 now from the 44 for the Lions. One receiver to the right, one to the left. Hellriegel takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it far side, off the hands of Peyton Biddle, and a flag thrown in from the back side right here below us. We'll see what the call is going to be. There wasn't much going on out here.
There was only
Berkey.
Yeah. And I think that was Harrison, I believe. And if that is on the wide receiver for Carterville on this side, boy, Coach Dahl's not going to be happy.
No.
Because the play was on the other side of the field.
So it's 15-yard penalty. It's 1st and 20 now from the 46. And it's the give to Nolan Hartford. Tries to cut it up at the near hash. Gets out back across midfield to about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, too many penalties in the first half for Carterville. They've been their own worst enemy. Give Herrin credit for doing a good job against the run. For the most part, Carterville's had some nice runs, but Carterville is just, their drives are actually, they're having to go further than they really should to try to get points because there always seems to be going back on every possession.
2nd and 14 from the 48. 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. Carterville has the 8-0 lead. Hellriegel has 2 receivers near side, 2 to the far side. From the shotgun, takes the snap, drop back, looks the roll, out to his right, feels some pressure, and he's wrapped up right at the 45-yard line. Boy, nice job by that Herrin Tiger defensive line as they put the pressure on Hellriegel and brought him down.
Hellriegel wanted to go to the outside. If he gets past the pressure to the outside, then he has this choice to either run or throw, but he never got there.
Clock rolls towards 6 minutes remaining. 3rd and 21 now for the Lions, and the ball at the 45-yard line. Long way to go for the Lions. 6:15 remaining. Hellriegel from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side. Takes a snap, straight back drop, lobs it up right side. Down the far sideline. Oh, it was dropped as the intended receiver. Was that Peyton Biddle again?
No, I don't think it is.
Maybe Berkey. Hard to see as I haven't.
I think it is Berkey.
It's incomplete nonetheless in Carterville.
About as well as you can throw a pass straight down the sideline. And no, I'm sorry. It looked like that was. Well, it might have been. I think it was the sophomore Johnson, but I could be wrong.
It might be. 4th down now for the Lions. 4th and 21 from the 45. Carterville's showing punt. Bryce Smith does the punting. Herrin sends 2 back deep. Smith takes the snap, kicks it to the far sideline, shanks it.
That's awful.
That may be a 12-yard punt, and Carterville has got to tighten things up. You can't make mistakes like that.
Well, what happens is when you make mistakes like this, you allow a team that you're better than on paper to stay in the game.
Yep.
And Herrin has not helped themselves offensively. They've done absolutely nothing on the offensive side of the ball. But at some point, for Carterville, you do not want your defense to be out there as long as they have been in this first half. So Carterville's just shooting themselves in the foot right now.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in downtown Carterville. Punctual service, 5-star satisfaction, and the experience that comes from 40 years in the business. Find out more at charliesairandheat.com. Herrin rolls, and it's Billingsley. It's going to keep it, and nice job by the line once again for the Lions as they get in, cause a loss on that carry. Billingsley just doesn't have anywhere to go.
No, Cordes came in, sacked him for the 1-2-yard loss, but give credit to Carterville's secondary. Billingsley looked downfield and could not find anybody open.
2nd and 12 after the 2-yard loss by Billingsley. Coming up, we're going to have our Infinity Realty halftime report. So the Tigers now facing a 2nd and 12 from the 42-yard line. Billingsley from the shotgun this time. 2 receivers to the right side. It's a quick pitch out to the far side. And on the carry, Lucas Sissom trying to get out there. Gets the 50-yard line. It's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down, but a nice carry by Sissom.
Yeah, a nice run on 2nd down to get back to a manageable 3rd down.
3rd and 3 for the Herrin Tigers. Carterville has the 8-0 lead, under 5 to play. It's 4:37. Tigers have it, though. They're driving. Billingsley. Quick pitch once again. Now they go to the far side once again. It's Sissom on the carry, and he's going to be short of the first down by about 6 inches, Scott Hudson.
Yeah, it's close, and I'm sure Herrin will go for it. He's going to be about less than a yard.
About a half a yard. on the carry, so it is going to be a 4th and 1 now from the 47-yard line.
Look for Carterville's got to be aware of maybe a hard count.
Yep.
To try to draw them off sides.
Yes, they do. Big 4th down play, 4th and short from the 47. Billingsley from under center has 1st down and more. They got a great push from that offensive line. He just put his head down, falls forward, and a big 1st down for the Herrin Tigers. And I got to tell you, that's only the 2nd 1st down of the contest for the Tigers.
Yeah, with 3:40 to go in the first half, and normally if you've only had 2 1st downs in the first half, you're down by at least 2 scores, but that's not the case.
Ball rest at the 44-yard line. Carterville coming off a win a week ago. Herrin coming off a hard-fought loss at Marion. It was 8-0 entering the 4th quarter. But it's their home opener here tonight, and they trail by 8 with the ball. Billingsley from the 44, under center. Turns around, gives it to his tailback. That is Nelson on the carry. And a flag again is thrown.
I will say this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that at some point tomorrow, these officials might have to have reconstructive shoulder surgery because of all the flags they've thrown. Just a guess.
They'll at least be getting physical therapy treatments. The official still having a conversation. It's going to be against the Tigers as they start to back up.
Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure. I've got, that is 3rd penalty on Herrin. So now it's 1st and 15. The ball at the plus 49. That would mean Carterville 49, Scott Hudson.
49. Your math is outstanding. And eyesight's not too bad either.
No, it's not good. Clock rolls under 3 now, 2:50. It is 1st and 15 for the Tigers. Billingsley takes a snap, gives it to his fullback. Tries to get to the outside, and that defense right there to wrap him up. Picked up a lot, maybe one. That's about all they're going to move it forward. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 13 now for the Tigers.
Cordes was there. Johnson, the sophomore, was there again. Johnson is earning himself a lot more playing time. He played well sparingly last week, but he got the number called tonight. He had to start because of an injury, and he's played very well from that linebacker spot.
Yes, he has. 2nd down, 13. 2 receivers to the right for the Tigers. From the shotgun, quick pitch out to the far side. System on the carry trying to get out, and he's popped, dropped, and rolled right there by, is that Jordan Cordes?
Jordan Cordes again.
Wow.
Cordes on the stop.
3rd down. And 11 now for the Herrin Tigers as the ball sets at the 46-yard line.
It would be nice if Carterville could get a stop here, because no matter what they do with the ball at the end of this 2nd quarter, they will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
Ball on the near hash. Herrin moving left to right. Minute 17 remaining in the first half. It's 3rd and 12. Carterville needs a stop. It's the fake handoff. They look to throw it down the middle. It's lobbed up, and it's caught. 1st down for the Herrin Tigers. And on the reception, it is Jonathan Harrison. It just put the hands up over the defender, brought it down, and a huge 1st down for the Herrin Tigers.
Yeah, that's probably their longest pass play of the year. Carterville had 2 defenders back there that they kind of got crisscrossed, and Harrison was able to pull it down.
As we have clock stopped at 52 seconds. We're going to take a break as well. We'll be back in 60 seconds. It's 8-0 Carterville over Herrin, but the Tigers are driving on News Radio WJPF. Coming out of the timeout, the Herrin Tigers complete a pass from Billingsley to, that is Kyrese Lukens, down to the 16-yard line.
A little out pass to Lukens, and he was able to dive down to about the 16-yard line. Herrin has 2 timeouts left. We're under a minute to go in the second quarter.
2nd and 1 from the 16 now. They have 2 receivers over to the far side. 1 near side. Billingsley looks to throw, lobs it up right side, puts it up, and it's incomplete as the intended receiver was the 6'5", Jonathan Harrison. Had 2 defenders out there, Peyton Biddle and looks like Blake Berkey out there for the Lions.
Yeah, you've got to double team. When you get this close, you have to double team somebody with that kind of size.
And a flag comes in from the near side, a sideline infraction on the Herrin Tigers.
Sideline warning against the Tigers.
And a warning is issued to the Tigers, whereas Carterville had
A
the penalty assessed to them on their first sideline infraction.
Is that what you call home field advantage?
They marked it off. So each team apparently got a warning. Here come the Tigers. Billingsley's going to keep it, puts his head down, and wrapped up by about 3 of the Carterville Lions right there.
Yeah, he got the first down, which is what they wanted to get. They called another timeout. They'll have 1 left with 41.8 to go in the second. Johnson again on the tackle.
Most importantly, get the first down, and that was job 1, and Reese Billingsley did that. As there's timeout, we're going to pause 30 seconds here. Herrin's driving. They trail by 8, but they have it at the Carterville 15 on News Radio WJPF.
Are you a safe?
Oh, he came up short.
Yeah, he did.
Thought that the the Herrin Tigers had picked up the first down, but they're bringing out the sticks to measure, and it looks like it was about a half a yard short, maybe a little less than a half a yard as they bring out the yardsticks here to the near side. Place down the marker at the 20, stretch it out, and it is going to be short by about 6 inches, maybe 4 inches.
With it 4th and 1 or less than 1, I don't think you're going to see Herrin throw the ball. They need to get that first down. So if I'm Carterville, I sell out on the run. I shoot my linebackers up the gap and try to keep them from getting this first down.
This is going to be the 13th play of the drive for the Tigers. 41 seconds remaining. 4th and 1. From the 14. Big play for the Herrin Tigers. They need about a half a yard. Well, about 6 inches, actually. Surprised Billingsley's not under center as he's back toward shotgun formation. Play clock hasn't started. They're waiting on the play clock. Now the clock starts. Billingsley now under center. He's going to keep it. Carterville stacks him up, but that's going to all depend on the mark.
He got it by about a yard.
So a big first down. That's the 5th first down for the Herrin Tigers unofficially. And that is the 4th on this drive. So it's first and 10.
Herrin calls another timeout. That should be their last timeout of the half.
Should be. We'll take a break as well. We'll pause 30 seconds. Herrin Tigers keep the drive alive. They trail by 8 here in the second quarter on News Radio WJPF.
Rain or shine?
Herrin Tigers are threatening here as they head toward the end of the first half. They have it 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Carterville has the 8-0 lead. Tigers a great drive. This is the 15th play of this drive for the Tigers. Billingsley rolls his right, looks to throw, throws it out, and off the fingertips of his intended receiver for the Herrin Tigers, and that was Kyrese Lukens.
Herrin has no timeouts left, so they're almost going to have to throw on every play. Carterville, give Herrin's offensive line credit. Carterville has not gotten to Billingsley as much on this drive as they had earlier in the game.
Yeah. The line, their offensive line's made some adjustments.
Yeah.
It's all about the adjustments. 2nd and 10 now, 29 seconds remaining in the first half. Officials step out, they place the ball. It is at the 14-yard line. Billingsley now from the shotgun. Drops back, looks to throw, has some pressure, steps up, gets popped and plowed right there at the 19-yard line.
The clock will continue to run.
Yes, it will. And nice job there by Carterville's Luke Johnson on that hit. 3rd down now and 10. Clock rolls to 10 seconds remaining, and Billingsley spiked the ball to stop the clock. Nice job by the quarterback for Herrin to get the clock stopped.
Looks like they're going to try a field goal.
As there's 9.5 seconds left. 4th down and 10. And they are setting up for the field goal.
I think they're doing Carterville a favor here.
As it's going to be Keegan Weber coming out to kick the 36-yard field goal. Ball is at the 26. High snap, kick is away, and it is good. And a nice job on the kick, as it was Keegan Weber that hits the 26-yard field goal.
Well, Carterville did a good job to keep them out of the end zone. I think Carterville will give up the 3 because Herrin had a lot of momentum going there on that last drive. So Carterville has to feel like, okay, like we gave up 3, but that's better than giving up 6 or 7.
Absolutely. That was a good drive by the Herrin Tigers. Give them credit. They finally able to put a nice drive together, as it was 17-play drive that ends in the 26-yard field goal by Weber.
36.
And we'll pause 30 seconds here on News Radio WJPF.
You have a chance.
Sorry, missed it.
It's 36, Dave. It was from the 26.
Correct, I get it. Kickoff is taken by Blake Berkey as he cuts it up across the 30 to the 35 to about the 37-yard line. And that is going to run out the clock. Good ball game. This is exactly what you expect in a matchup between these two teams. It's 8-3, Scott Hudson.
Low scoring. Carterville scored 8 last week in the first half. This week a little different. Carterville left a lot of points in that first half on the board and allowed Herrin to stick around.
8-3 is our score. Stay with us. Our Infinity Realty halftime report is coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
When you see someone.
This is the only political thing I'm going to say all night, but I hope.
And
Welcome back to Herrin High School, where we're at the half. It's 8-3. The Carterville Lions have the 5-point lead, but nice drive by there by the Herrin Tigers. A 17-play drive late, and the 36-yard field goal from Keegan Weber, not 26, but it was the ball was at the 26. So it's 36, so you were talking about math. 26 plus 10.
It's 36.
36, and that's how that works. Good first half.
A
lot of penalties. It wasn't pretty by any stretch.
Yeah, a lot of penalties, probably more for Carterville than Herrin. But Carterville, the first drive, they had a touchdown call back, illegal procedure. Very next play, Hartford goes up the middle. Looks like he was maybe stretching to get to the goal line. The ball comes out in the end zone. Herrin recovers and takes over at the 20. And then it became kind of a lot of penalties after that even. Carterville had drives where they'd pick up good yardage on first down. You'd see a penalty flag. So I'm sure right now in the locker room, Brett Dial is talking to his players and say, look, we should be up by 2 scores right now. We're not, because we're not taking care of ourselves, and that's got to change.
Mental mistakes. It's the little things. Yeah, it's a rivalry game. Yeah, it's your cross-county rival. You want to beat them. You want to beat them in football. You want to beat them in basketball. Whatever it is, it's the nature of this matchup between these two teams. But you have to play smart. You have to limit the mistakes, limit the penalties, because, like you said, Carterville should be up at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think that's what Coach Dial's telling his team right now. Look, we just got to take care of ourselves. Carterville will get the ball to start the third quarter. I'm sure he wants to go down, put points on the board, and, force Herrin to play even from further behind. But, Herrin, that last drive was their best drive maybe this year. They only got 3 out of it, and I think that's huge because if they go in and score a touchdown, Carterville's either up by 1, 2, or it could have been tied. So to only give up a field goal, I guess it's kind of like a moral victory.
But the big play on that drive by the Herrin Tigers was that nice reception from Harrison as they caught him over the top of 2 defenders. That was a huge first down to keep that drive alive.
Yeah, it was, and that's probably Billingsley's best pass of the night, and it got them into position where then they could look to maybe go to the end zone. But, Carterville, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Carterville has beaten themselves in this first half. Take nothing away from what Herrin's done, especially defensively. But Carterville's got to clean up the messes. The flags have got to stop. They've got to clean things up.
8-3 is our score here at the half as the Herrin flag team is out on the field performing here. Opening night, first home game of the season for the Herrin Tigers, and want to say thank you to their hospitality. Great food, as always, and a great view from the press box. But and a beautiful night for high school football as this is week 2. Carterville got a big 28-0 win a week ago. Herrin coming off a 21-0 loss on the road at Marion. 8-3 is our score. We're going to go on and take another break here on our Infinity Realty halftime report. Stay with us. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Charlie's Air Conditioning.
8-3 our score here at the half as the Herrin Marching Tigers are on the field as we continue here at halftime. Scott Hudson, and I'm not able to update my computer to get us other scores, and I haven't received any text messages. Have you?
I have not either. So if anybody's listening right now out
maybe
there.
Maybe this is the only game in the world.
Could be. But if anybody's listening out there and know of any other scores, we sure would appreciate some text messages on the other games going around the area. I know Benton is at Chester tonight. I think Murfreesboro's playing AJ, and you've got the whole list right in front of you.
Frankfort is at Pinckneyville, Harrisburg at DuQuoin. Of course, we'll see DuQuoin in 2 weeks. Next week, we're at home against Murfreesboro. Then is it DuQuoin?
Then at DuQuoin, yep.
Anna Jonesboro taking on Murfreesboro. Granite City is at Carbondale tonight. Marion at Jerseyville. Freeburg at Nashville. That's a big game. Freeburg, of course, knocked Carterville out of the playoffs last year, but they lost a ton of seniors. And Nashville seems like they're Nashville.
Yeah, after, again, take nothing away from Carlisle, but they're a smaller school. I will say this. Last year, the only game Nashville lost was to Freeburg. So Nashville's looking for some payback for that game last year.
Have I told you I'm going to miss the Nashville game again this year?
Somehow that doesn't surprise me, but that's okay. But at least the Nashville game's at home this year.
That's true.
That's right.
We'll have that conversation later. It is 8-3 here for the Carterville Lions as they have the 5-point lead. Of course, the 36-yard field goal from Weber for the Tigers to cut into that 8-point lead. And what do you expect? I mean, the conversation, you kind of wrapped up what Coach Brightdale's probably saying to his Lions, but what do you expect?
Well, I would expect since Carterville's going to have the ball first, I would expect Carterville's offensive line to try and dominate the line of scrimmage again like they did last week, assert themselves, if you will, on that first drive. Hopefully Carterville can go down on that first drive, get a touchdown, and then, be up by anywhere from 14 to 16 to 3, and have Herrin at some point have to go to the air more to try and beat Carterville. But I think first and foremost, Carterville's got to take care of themselves. They cannot kill themselves with penalties like they did in that first half.
I agree. And don't forget, you can hear all of the scores tomorrow morning starting at 6 o'clock with Murph on the Sportscast on NewsRadio WJPF, and then Sports Voice on location at 8 o'clock. Murph and Hudson. Last week we named West Frankfort the first high school football team of the week. There's some good matchups, some good candidates in the lineup here tonight as well, and you'll hear all about it coming up in the morning.
Yeah, tomorrow, big day on Sports Voice. Of course, we got, the official start of college football weekend, some big games in college football tomorrow. SIU's at Incarnate Word. You've got Oregon at Georgia. You've got Notre Dame at Ohio State, just to name a couple of the big games tomorrow. We've got baseball races going on. NASCAR starts their playoffs this weekend.
Forgot about that.
The NHL season, I think training camp opens 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we've got a lot of things to talk about tomorrow on the show.
There is a lot. I watched that Pitt, West Virginia game last night. It was so good, it kept me from going to sleep.
Did you know this? I saw this today. That game had the biggest crowd of any sporting event in Pittsburgh history.
Over
professional
70,
or
77,000, I think was the number.
Big.
It was a great game. We have a good ball game here for you as well. Carterville has a 5-point lead. It is 8-3. We're going to go out and take another break here on our Infinity Realty halftime report on News Radio WJPF.
Hi.
Our Infinity Realty halftime report continues. We do have a couple of scores, Scott Hudson. It is Murfreesboro all over Anna Jonesboro tonight at Murfreesboro, their home opener, 35-0. And Carbondale leads Granite City. Carbondale is at home tonight, 16-14.
Not really surprised by the Murfreesboro AJ score. Remember West Frankfort, our team of the week, they were losing at AJ last week 13-0, scored 22 unanswered points to win down in the pit. But Murfreesboro, they had a big win over Carbondale last week. They get their home opener. Not surprising by that score.
We are 8-3 as both teams are starting to make their way back out onto the field. Herrin, the first team to exit the locker room. Carterville will be coming and making their way up from the right, and we're going to go on and take our final break here from the Infinity Realty halftime report. Stay with us. Second half action is coming up next on your home for Lions Sports, News Radio WJPF.
You don't have to be.
Yes, I can hear you.
Dave, what's the post-game deal? It's no Joe's? Is that the deal?
Yes. Forget about that in that slot. That is not going to happen this year. It's just open. I'll add somebody in there. Just give them a verbal.
All right, well, there's the Johnny Logan. I'll play that one.
Okay.
All right, you're coming back.
Hey, everybody, online. I understand we're having some glitches. I've tried everything I can. Not got a real good cell signal. I've tried Wi-Fi. It's just, I apologize on that. Plus, the glare that you see, it's shooting through a window. I apologize.
He's everything you ever wanted. One moment.
8-3 is our score as we are just a couple of minutes away from the kickoff here in the second half. Carterville, Scott Hudson, they scored first in this contest. That was at the 2:46 mark of the first quarter. A 19-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel to our friend Cade Lustenberger.
Yeah, coming into this game, Herrin's probably thinking, well, we've got to watch for Berkey. We definitely got to watch for Biddle. We got to watch for Smith swinging out of the backfield. And lo and behold, Lustenberger used his size to his advantage in the back of the end zone, went up, grabbed a nice pass from Hellriegel, and it looked like Carterville was off and running.
Yeah, and that was just a beautiful pass off the hand of the quarterback Hellriegel. Lusty runs under it. 2-point conversion gave Carterville the 8-0 lead. And then it was back and forth. It was fumbles. It was penalties. It was possession, change of possessions. It was punts. We had a little bit of everything there in the and then Herrin went on a 17-play drive. They got the ball at the 5:58 mark of the second quarter, and they wind up converting a 36-yard field goal from Keegan Weber, making it 8-3, and that was with 4 seconds left. So that drive was 5 minutes and 54 seconds for the Tigers.
Yeah, their best drive probably of the season for Carterville in that second quarter especially. Take one step forward and 2 steps back. That was kind of the theme on their drives. And, again, when you look at these two teams, I think it's after one half, Carterville is the better team. However, having said that, the better team doesn't always win. And Carterville has got to straighten things out, especially offensively where most of the penalties have come, or they're going to allow Herrin to stay in this game and try to pull the upset.
That's why they play the games.
Yep.
On paper, you're exactly right. Carterville, a decisive advantage over the Herrin Tigers. But that's why they play, because mistakes can sink a ship. And, Carterville, you hit on it during the our halftime report earlier, that Brett Dial's probably preaching eliminate the mistakes. If you eliminate the mistakes, you're probably going to win.
And remember, last week at halftime, Carterville was only up 8-0 against Benton, but Carterville really just dominated the second half. Both the offensive and defensive lines took over that game, and that's what Coach Dial is hoping that will happen in this game in the second half.
Carterville will have the football to start the second half as the Herrin Tigers receive the opening kickoff. Herrin in their home black uniforms with the orange stripes around the sleeves and around the neck of the jersey with the white numbers. Carterville wearing their road whites with the blue and orange. The blue numbers on the back and the chest and the orange helmets. Looking forward to an exciting finish to this one. It's always a close game. Last
year, that's it.
Yeah, 46-6 was a blowout win for the Lions a year ago, but they're not blowout games here at Herrin.
No, they're not. It's just there's a lot of rivalries, whether it be basketball or football. You can just throw out the records, throw out what teams are expected to do. This is usually what you get, a close game.
Carterville has one man deep. The kick is low, and it's taken by the up back. That's Blake Berkey that picks it up, bobbles it, still hasn't got it, finally does, and gets away at the 10-yard line, takes it to the middle of the field, tries to get to the outside, fights his way out to the 20-yard line, and man, like one block away, just one block from cutting that to the outside, and Blake Berkey's hobbling a little bit as he heads to the sideline.
Yeah, that's not good, but a lot of times on a play like that where you see a player, the deep back, pick up the ball, then drop it, then pick it up and have trouble, you will see the kick team over pursue to one side of the field. And Berkey almost broke it to the other side of the field. So Carterville will get the ball at about their own 19.
Here come the Lions offense, led by their senior quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel. Has one receiver near side. That is Peyton Biddle. One to the far side. Looks like that's Lustenberger. It's the snap and the give to the running back. Looks like Bryce Smith cuts it to the outside, has a first down and more. Stutter steps to the far sideline, finally driven out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Boy, hard running by that running back.
Whatever Coach Dial said got through. Let's put it that way, at least on that first play. Smith just took off to the outside, following his blockers like he always does, and got Carterville out of a big hole.
Down to the 36-yard line. Big carry. An 18-yard carry. It's, again, Smith that drives and keeps the legs churning, and he gets out. Oh, and he may be hurt. That leg got up underneath him. Oh, he's going to hobble back to the huddle.
He's a tough kid.
But he picked up another first down, back-to-back first downs by the running back, Bryce Smith.
Well, and all because of that offensive line.
Carterville, third play, has moved the ball almost 30 yards. Hellriegel takes the snap, gives it to the jet sweep. That is Carterville's Nolan Hartford on the carry. Hartford picks up about 5.
Yeah, you got tackled by Herrin's quarterback, Billingsley, who also serves as one of their defensive backs.
2nd and 6 now for the Carterville Lions. The ball from the 49 of the Herrin Tigers. Hellriegel, 2 receivers left. He's going to keep it himself. Nice job defensively. He's wrapped right up at the 48-yard line of Carterville. And right there on the stop for the Herrin Tigers, number 21, Jacob Hawk.
So he lost about 2-3 yards. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 9. So 2-3 big plays by Carterville. And then one loss is going to make it 3rd and 9 from their own 49.
Ball Just on the other side of the far hash, as there's a timeout. It's an injury timeout. And that is Hawk that's still, he came up holding his left arm, and he made his way to the huddle after that sack on Hellriegel, but he comes to the sideline now. So it's third down and 9 from the 49. Hellriegel puts running back in motion, and Nolan Hartford on the carries wrapped up, and another great penetration by the defensive line for the Herrin Tigers as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Tried to catch Herrin thinking pass, and Herrin not flinching at all. So will Carterville go for it at midfield, or will they punt?
No gain on that carry by Nolan Hartford. As Cade Lustenberger checks out, he heads to the far sideline. They're going to send 2 receivers to the right.
They're going to punt.
Now, it's going to be Bryce Smith that drops back to punt from the 40-yard line, gets the kick away. Good kick taken at about the 15-yard line. Bringing it to the near side, trying to get to the outside, down the sideline. He gets to the 40, the 45, to the 50, down to the Carterville 45. People all over him making some moves on the carry to the far sideline, cuts it across the far hash, takes it back. That is an 80-yard touchdown punt return for number 10, Chris Nelson.
Well, you don't, that's the reason why they don't kick off to a Nelson or a Lukens. That punt was high, and now we have a Carterville player on the sideline that's down. Brett Dial is coming over. I cannot tell who the player is, but he's not moving.
Well, it was an 80-yard return by Chris Nelson. And he did a lot of dodging and sidestepping and sprinting and cutting, and just to find his way for that touchdown. But an approximately 80-yard return by Nelson. And now the Herrin Tigers have a 9-8 lead on the Carterville Lions as they continue to work just below us. We're going to pause 30 seconds here on News Radio WJPF. That's Miller.
We cannot afford to lose him.
Nine to 8 is the score. The Herrin Tigers just score on an 80-yard punt return by Nelson, Chris Nelson. Zach Miller was the injured Carterville Lion here on the near sideline, and he finally makes it over to the far sideline with the training staff.
Now you're already down one starting lineman, Talon Walker tonight. So now you got Zachariah Miller out. That does not look good for his return to the field.
And now the Tigers will line up for the two-point conversion. Billingsley from the shotgun takes the snap, going to keep it, follow his line right up and in for the two-point conversion. And with 8:21 remaining here in the third quarter, the Herrin Tigers lead the Carterville Lions 11-8. We'll be back in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
Dr. Kill.
This Lions broadcast brought to you by Stephen Rich's Barber Stylings, a full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville. Open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5, Saturday 8 until 2. 11-8 is our score here in the third quarter. 8:21 remaining after the 80-yard punt return from Nelson, Chris Nelson, and the Tigers kick the ball away. It's going to be bobbled by Berkey on the return. Takes it across midfield over on the far side and cuts it up at about the 30, 32, 30, oh, excuse me, the 28-yard line. And a penalty flag comes in late. Right here.
Yeah, it's going to be on Herrin coach Taylor Perry. He ran out on the field screaming, and the officials saw that, and it's going to cost Herrin
another 15 yards. That'll be.
Taylor Perry just ran out on the field screaming, and I think that's a 15-yard penalty, so Carterville will take that.
Berkey had a nice return as he picked it up about the 10, carried it out to about the 28-yard line. Now they're going to tack on 15 yards on that, and so the Carterville Lions are going to have it.
Well, not only are the players showing emotion that's costing their teams tonight, coaches are showing their emotions that's costing their team.
Well, each team has received a sideline warning and penalty. 8-10, 1st and 10 now for the Lions from the 43-yard line. As Hellriegel looks to throw, finds his receiver cutting across midfield, and that is Nolan Hartford on the reception.
Hartford's had a very, very good game tonight. I think that's his first catch. Nice throw by Hellriegel. He had to get that ball a little zip because Hartford was covered very well.
Gain of 9 on that reception. Ball at the 48-yard line. Hellriegel drops back, looks to throw, pump fake, throws it right side, finds his receiver on the far sideline, and on the reception, Hartford picks up a big, or it is Jordan Cordish, you're right.
One reason I could tell is Cordish is just a little bit taller than Hartford. One wears number 5, one wears number 6.
And he's ripped like I used to look back when I was
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
back before the war.
When you used to, the way you looked on those the oldie shows when you were up there stretching.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Ball's at the 30-yard line. Carterville has something brewing here as Hellriegel's gone to the air. Drops back, looks to throw again, throws it across the middle. Receiver's there. Touchdown, Carterville Lions. And that is Nolan Hartford.
What a throw by Hellriegel. And Carterville answers Herrin's score with a quick score. And just like that, Carterville's back on top.
It's almost like they said, we're going to quit messing around.
Yeah.
Let's do what we do. Hellriegel to Hartford, the 30-yard touchdown with 7:03 remaining here in the third quarter.
And this
is
a
beautiful pass.
Actually, Carterville's going to go for the extra point instead of going for 2. Let's see if they try to draw them off sides.
On to do the kicking, Riley Crane. Skelcher the hold. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 15-11 is the score after the extra point is good. Carterville on top. Stay with us. More coming up here on News Radio WJPF.
You're a safe.
$15-11 is our score. Carterville just took the lead on the 30-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Nolan Hartford. The extra point was good. 7:03 remaining. The big part play on that right there for the Carterville Lions was the sideline infraction on the coach from the Herrin Tigers.
Yeah, penalties have hurt Carterville in this game. One, the illegal shift that cost them a touchdown, and now this penalty by Taylor Perry helped the Lions get the ball near midfield, and then they go in and score with the help of that penalty.
So Carterville has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. The kick is going to be a one-hopper, and it goes out of bounds.
And Carterville will take that. They have no problem
Absolutely,
with that.
especially after the 80-yard punt return of Carterville Lions sports. Herrin Tigers have the football now, 7:03 remaining in the third quarter. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 35 after the kick goes out of bounds.
And now remember, with Zachariah Miller out of the lineup with that injury, Carterville has inserted Hayden Morris, a 6', 235-pound tackle.
So the Tigers have it at their own 35. Reese Billings.
Yeah, there was no help on Carterville's left side. There was no good. Jordan Cordes, I guess, got caved to the inside because there was nobody to come across and force that play to the inside.
Carried it to the 48-yard line for the first down. And that moves the chains. 1st and 10 from their own 48. Billingsley takes the snap, gives it to his running back Sissom once again, and he's
fumble.
Oh, the ball is on the turf. Carterville has it, and a turnover on the Herrin Tigers gives it right back to the Lions.
I don't know who it was that popped Sissom, but that ball came straight out, and I think it was Cordes that was there to grab the ball. So let's see if Carterville can take advantage of yet another mistake by Herrin in this half.
And Sissom comes to the sideline, and he's holding that right wrist out. He took the shot right on the wrist because you said the ball popped right out.
I don't know who hit him, but I do know Cordes came up with the fumble recovery.
It was effective, whoever it was. 6:27 mark. 6:27 to start this drive. 1st and 10 from the 47. Throws the pass out to the far side. Cut move up inside. Brought down after a gain of about 3. And on the reception for the Lions, Nolan Hartford.
Yeah, Hartford tried to cut to the inside, but he got cut down at about midfield.
Clock rolls toward 6 minutes. It's 2nd and 7. Gain of 3. Ball right at midfield. Lions seem to be picking up the pace a little bit as well. Hellriegel from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right side. Rolls to his right, looks to throw, throws it right, and that is Peyton Biddle on that reception out to about the Herrin 43-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 8, bringing up a 3rd and short for the Lions.
Now Carterville has gone almost strictly to the passing game here on these last 2 drives. Something they did not have to do a lot last week, but they're having to throw the ball in this tight game.
3rd and 2 now from the 45. Hellriegel running play, and that was Hartford, I believe, on the carry, and he's got the first down and more over on the far side, a little misdirection, and that's enough for a Lions first down.
And what Carterville wants to do, let that big same way Marion did last week in the second half in their game with the Tigers.
Well, and, you know, a lot of times they say you want to run the ball to throw. You want to run, and force the defenders to come in. Well, now Carterville threw so much they got the defenders to drop off, and they was able to pick up the first down on that carry by Hartford. Hellriegel looks to throw, throws it across the middle. Receiver's there. It's caught at the 15, down to the 10, and that is Carterville's Nolan Hartford on a big reception.
A very good pass, but a great catch by Hartford as he had a defensive man right on him, pulling on his jersey after he caught the ball. What a play by Hellriegel, and an even better play by Hartford.
Great coverage by the Tigers. It is 1st and 10 from the 10, 1st and goal, and it's the give to Bryce Smith. He keeps the legs churning, wrapped up, and he's going to actually have a loss maybe of about a half a yard or so.
Yeah, Carterville has 1st and goal from the 10, which is the worst place you want a 1st and goal from because you have the entire 10 yards to go. So he lost about almost a yard.
2nd and goal from the 11 now. Carterville has the 4-point lead. 3:55 remaining. Throws it across the middle and off the hands
Of Lustenberger.
Of Luston, who had run a little post route. And actually was a little bit behind him, kind of hit off his elbow.
It was behind him, but Lustenberger is so tall. Get that pass up around his shoulder pads, if not the helmet.
Yep.
That way the defender has a tough time to defend that pass. But you're right, Hellriegel did throw that a little bit behind Lustenberger.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the near side. Hellriegel spins, rolls to his right, throws it out to his right, and it's caught by Peyton Biddle, tipped, and into the end zone for the touchdown.
What a job of concentration by Peyton Biddle right at the goal line. But do we have a penalty on the play? And
There's
if they
a flag.
do, Carterville may have shot themselves in the foot again.
As we wait the call.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Another touchdown taken off the board by a penalty. And none bigger than that.
Well, I will say this, Dave. Carterville will have to call a
Red Dye was
timeout.
losing his mind over on the far sideline.
And, I mean, it's kind of hard to get a illegal man downfield when you're that close to the goal line.
Yes.
That would be my question, but well, I will say this. Carterville will have to call a timeout in a minute, if for no other reason, to go to the store and buy more ammunition because they've used up plenty here in this game tonight.
On their own feet.
They have no toes left.
10 seconds on the play clock. It's 3rd and 16. Hellriegel throws across the middle, misses his intended receiver. That was Cordes.
And I think Carterville will go for it here. But this is, boy, that is a tough, tough break for Carterville. Carterville will not attempt a field goal. I would almost guarantee you that.
And you bring up a great point. How can it be? It's hard to imagine a man being illegally when the ball's at the 10.
When the ball's at the 10. How does that? I mean, I don't understand.
Exactly.
Okay, I don't understand, but
4th and 16 now for the Lions. 4th and goal from the 16, actually. Hellriegel rolls to the right, lobs it up toward the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Biddle was open. But if Hellriegel throws that ball to his back shoulder, it's a touchdown. But he threw it a little too far, and that allowed the defender to catch back up to the ball. So again,
15-11 lead, and now the Herrin Tigers have it at their own 15, 16-yard line.
And Dave, not to belabor the point, but in all the years that I've done high school football, which is now 27, I've never seen an illegal man downfield on the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
ever.
I agree. Here is the Tigers as Billingsley keeps that one. And he's wrapped up by the Carterville Lions. And is that
Miller back in the game?
Miller's back in the game.
Well, he's a tough cookie, and you're probably going to have to put a seatbelt on him on the sideline to keep him out of this ball game.
It's going to be a gain of 1 from Billingsley on that carry. Ball's at the 17-yard line. Miller checking out now, so he'll probably be in and out. Boy, it's got exciting.
Now Miller's back out.
Under 3 to play in the 3rd quarter. And it's the give to the fullback. He tries to cut it to the outside, and Carterville defensive line says, no, you don't. You're not going anywhere. And the clock just keeps a-rolling.
And on that play for Carterville was none other than Talon Walker, who we were told may or may not play tonight, but he comes up with a big play there.
So 3rd and 8 for the Lions, or excuse me, the Tigers from the 18. Clock keeps rolling. 2:15 remaining. 15-11 is the score. Lions the 4-point lead. Billingsley from the shotgun. Keeps it, throws it, lobs it up, leads his receiver too far as the intended receiver on that pass was Kyrese Lukens.
And Carterville players looking around. Well, are there any penalty flags on the field?
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
But good coverage by the safety, Biddle. He got behind he made sure nobody, and I think in that case was Kyrie Lucas, was not going to get behind him. Billingsley had to throw quickly because he was under pressure.
My stat sheet looks a mess.
Well, looks like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, it does. 4th and 8 now. Biddle is back at the 35 of Herrin. Now he starts to drop back. Billingsley drops back to punt. Takes the snap, kicks it away. High kick.
Get away from it.
Biddle floats over toward it, just going to let it roll, and a great roll as it winds up at the 37-yard line, 38-yard line of the Carterville Lions. Good job by the quarterback Billingsley, who also does the punting. And so the Carterville Lions, decent field position. They're going to have it to start things off, but
well, the main thing is they got Herrin a 3-and-out. They got the ball back. Now what they need to do is have one of those long, time-consuming drives that end in points and not a penalty.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Coming up, we're going to have our Firemasters post-game show at the conclusion of this game. We'll update you on scores that we can get. We'll talk to head coach Brett Dow, hopefully, if he can make it up here. Carterville has it. And it's Hellriegel that's going to keep it off left tackle. Crashes his way out to about the 40-yard line. And it's going to bring up about 2nd and 7 now after the gain of 3.
Clock running will be under 1:30 under the in the 3rd quarter. Again, Carterville needs to pick up 2-3 first downs at the very least.
They send one receiver over to the far side. Now Hellriegel takes the snap, and he gives it to Nolan Hartford. Hartford just puts his head down, plows his way to a first down, and that's going to move the chains. Good hard running there from the running back, Nolan Hartford.
Hartford has had an outstanding game tonight for Carterville. You know, you've got Bryce Smith, you've got Hartford, just 2 hard runners, a little different styles, I would say, but still, they complement each other so well.
Bryce Smith comes into the game, as does Cade Lustenberger. He comes to the near side. Lions are sending trips to the left. One to the right. Hellriegel gives it to his running back. That's Bryce Smith. He gets a little running room, has a first down and more for the Lions. Just keeps on fighting. Man, he is so strong. He just refuses to go to the ground. You have to put him on the ground.
Again, that's that off-season conditioning that Coach Dial talked about in the pregame. He is so strong, and he is hard to bring down.
Moves the
face
chains.
mask on Herrin, so that'll move it at least another 5, depending on whether it was. Yeah, it's just a 5-yard penalty. So
that was just a hard-nosed run from the running back, Bryce Smith. And so now the ball is at the 1st and 10 from the Herrin 36. Hellriegel gives it to Smith once again. Puts his head down, just keeps chugging, falls forward inside the 30-yard line. Big gain there, gain of about 6.
Remember, this is where Carterville basically took the game over last week against Benton. They ran the ball. They're just going to let the clock run out, and we'll get ready for the 4th quarter.
15-11 is the score as we are heading to the 4th quarter. The Carterville Lions 4-point lead. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
SIU Credit Union.
Fourth quarter starts. The Carterville Lions have the 15-11 lead on the Herrin Tigers, plus they have the ball now. As it's 2nd down and 5 from the 31 for the Lions. They put the running back in motion, and it's the give to Nolan Hartford as he gets wrapped up just short, about 2 yards short of the first down. And the Lions now are facing a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, he didn't get much on that play. But Carterville, I'm sure, in that 4-down territory now. They want to keep that clock running.
It's 3rd down, 3rd and 3 from the 29. They bring Caden Lustenberger near side. Receiver to the far side in Biddle. And it's the give to the running back. He falls forward. 1st down for the Carterville Lions. And on the carry, Bryce Smith.
Great block by Carterville's Xander Smith. He pancaked the guy right at the line of scrimmage, and that gave Hartford just enough room to get that 1st down.
Clock continues to roll. Carterville driving. This drive started back on their own 37-yard line. This is going to be the 8th play of the drive. 1st and 10 from the 24. As Hellriegel gives it off to Smith. He gets to the 20 where he's finally brought to the ground right there. And a gain of about 4 on that carry by Bryce Smith.
Smith was following the big Eli Moore, 6'3", 334-pound lineman, and Smith was trying to push him in the back like, get going, big boy, just keep going. He did pick up about 3-4 yards, and
2nd and 6 now from the 20.
Does keep the clock running.
Carterville needs to extend this lead. They have a 4-point lead. It's 15-11. It was a 30-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Nolan Hartford to gain the Lions the lead. Hellriegel takes the snap, rolls to his left, pump fakes twice, takes it to the sideline where he's popped and pushed out of bounds. Is great coverage in the secondary on the Carterville receivers, and Hellriegel just didn't have a target, couldn't get the ball away, so he just carries it for about a gain of, let's see here, no gain, right back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Biddle was out there. I think he was trying to hit Biddle down near the goal line, but he was not open, and Hellriegel just had to do the best he could.
3rd and 6. The snap and the give to Bryce Smith. Cuts up inside and keeps turning, falls forward to the 10-yard line, and that's going to be a Carterville 1st down.
When Carterville has had 3rd down and anywhere from 3 to 6 yards, that offensive line does an outstanding job. Remember last week, Carterville only 2 of 10 on 3rd downs. That's been much better here tonight, especially in the second half.
And Carterville has it 1st and goal from the 10. Hellriegel takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Follow his left tackle. Cuts it up into about the 5-yard line, where it's finally brought down and maybe a little bit short of 5. It may be to the 6-yard line. 2nd down and goal from the 6 now.
The big thing is, Dave, the clock continues to run. This is the type of drive Carterville wanted to have.
And
a textbook drive.
And the bigger thing is, don't commit a stupid penalty right here.
Yeah, get a touchdown and have somebody assigned to immediately look for a flag.
8:40, 2nd and goal for the Lions from the 6. Hellriegel takes the snap, gives it to Smith, and he's met right there. Great defensive penetration by the Herrin Tigers.
The linebacker, Vaughn.
Yep.
He just came through. He read the play correctly. And now that's going to bring up 3rd and goal from about the 11.
Yep.
Now, what is interesting here, if Carterville does not get in on 3rd down, I don't think they attempt a field goal. I think they go for it again.
Go for it as well. I agree. All right, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left for the Lions. Hellriegel from the shotgun, takes the low snap, rolls to his right, throws it out toward the end zone. Receiver was Peyton Biddle, but it was too far ahead of PB there. And now, just like we said, Carterville's facing a 4th and goal now from the 11-yard line. Decision time for head coach Brett Dial.
I don't think there's any decision. They're going to go for it. But what's the play call going to be? Herrin brought pressure up the middle that time. It was picked up, and Hellriegel led Biddle just a little bit too much.
Carterville has already had 2 scoring plays brought back because of penalties. They bring trips to the right side. 4th and goal from the 11. Hellriegel throws it across the middle, incomplete.
Well, Lustenberger did not finish the route. He stopped. He has to keep going on that route. He cannot pull up, and that's exactly what he did. And he looks back at Hellriegel, but Hellriegel should say, look, you've got to run that route out. You just cannot, stop your route. He was open, but he just didn't keep the route going.
Herrin is going to get the ball back with 7:31 remaining in the contest, and they're going to have it at their own 10-yard line.
Well, I guess the one good thing, Dave, about that drive,
the time consumption.
they ran a lot of time off the clock, but they got nothing out of that long drive. And you want to finish those drives with points.
They started that drive with 1:52 remaining in the third, and here there's 7.5 remaining in the contest. 90 yards to go for the Herrin Tigers. They trail by 4. Carterville has had, 3-4 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns called back for sure.
But they fumbled the ball on one, and then that drive they just can't finish it off, as the official talking to one of the assistant coaches here below us.
I don't know what's going on.
Nope, me neither. All right. Put the clock at 7:31. So they're taking some time off the clock. It was at 7:45. They wanted it 7:31. All right. Officials are talking. Herrin Tigers have it at their own 10-yard line after holding the Lions on that last drive. Billingsley from the shotgun on the reverse handoff, gives it to his running back. That is Kyrese Lukens, cuts it to the outside. He's put out of side, knocked out of bounds.
Maybe a block in the back.
It may be, and that.
Yep, block in the back.
And it is going to be actually on Evan Watson with the block on the back, because Coach was right there having a teaching moment with him. You can't do that. And that's going to bring the play back. And then they'll put it, where do they take it, to the 1? It's only a 5-yard penalty probably. They bring it.
Well, they marked it off from the spot of the foul.
It's a spot foul. That's right.
So then they're back to the 9, 1st and 11. So not really much anything lost by Herrin on that play. They would have had a bigger gain, obviously, but
1st and 11 from the 9-yard line. One receiver left. It's the give to the up back, and Carterville's defensive line greets him with a big bear hug and puts him on the turf.
Talon Walker, also Johnson, the sophomore linebacker. We've mentioned his name many times tonight. And
Talon Walker wasn't expected to play except in an emergency.
This is called an emergency.
I would say so.
Not because of injury, but because of the score.
2nd and 11 from the 9. No gain on that last carry. Billingsley, the quarterback. He shifts between being under center, back to shotgun, this time from shotgun. Wants to throw, has some pressure, cuts it up right up the gut, right across the 15 to the 20, cuts across to the far hash,
there's a flag on the play. They're going to bring it back.
And they're going to bring it back on an illegal block.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yep.
The Herrin fans don't like
Kyrese
it.
Lukens.
But there was a block in the back, and Kyrese Lukens is raising his hands. But he did. I mean, I didn't know it was Kyrese, but there was a block in the back.
It was either Lukens or Watson again. And that big run and another flag and an unsportsmanlike is going to be called.
And
Who's
this
it going to
might be on
on?
Carterville. So that might.
So it was a hold is the call. Hold is the call. And then you have unsportsmanlike on the Carterville Lions, so it'll be offsetting.
That will drive Coach Dial absolutely insane because you already got them backed up on the penalty. And now you must have said something, what I don't know, but why would you say anything? The play went in your favor.
Exactly.
And it's going to end up costing.
The unsportsmanlike actually is going to give the Tigers the
first
first down.
Wow.
Well, that's huge.
That is just unbelievable. Carterville continuing to beat themselves here tonight.
Just keep your mouth shut, boys, and just finish out the game. You can't just quit chatting. If you're not talking to your own guy, don't say anything. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say?
That's what your parents always tell you.
If you ain't got nothing, and they always said ain't.
Yeah.
If you ain't got nothing good to say.
Y'all going to get in trouble.
1st and 10 from the 27. Don't give Herrin a chance to get back in this as Billingsley's going to keep it. And he picks up about 5 yards on that carry. Nice run by Reese Billingsley. Carterville's defense needs to step up. The clock rolls under 6 minutes. Carterville's nursing a 4-point lead. It's 15-11. It's going to be 2nd and 5 now. After the 5-yard carry, the ball at the 32-yard line. Carterville trying to pick up a win on the road at Herrin. Last year they beat the Herrin Tigers 46-6, but they never play blowout games at Herrin. Tigers have it. It is 2nd and 5. Billingsley again is going to keep it. Follows his tackle, gets out across the 40 to the 41 to the 42-yard line, and that's enough for a Herrin Tiger first down.
Yeah, nothing fancy the last 2 plays. It's just been Billingsley both times. And Carterville's defensive line, they're taking Zachariah Miller out and bringing in a little bit more beef to try to stop that run up the middle.
That was 9, and the first down for the Tigers. Clock rolls to 4:47. Coming up, we're going to have our Firemasters post-game report. Hopefully talk to head coach Brett Dial if he can make it up here. He said, I don't even know where I go. 1st and 10 from the 41. Billingsley. He's going to keep it again himself, and he's popped right at the line of scrimmage.
I believe that was Riley Bradford that hit him first. Short gain. Will probably be under 4 minutes by the time the Tigers get off this play.
So it was a gain of 2, 2nd and 8 from the 43. Under 4 to play, 4:55. Tigers approach the line of scrimmage. Players checking their wristbands. Billingsley from the shotgun. Takes the snap. It's the reverse handoff to
Great
Chris
play
Nelson.
by Cordis.
And Cordis is there and gets head slaps all around.
That is not easy to catch that young man from behind. And Cordis just spun him down.
Great play call, a reverse handoff,
Yes.
inside handoff.
Because Herrin had been running the ball between the tackles, and so you sneak a guy to the outside, and Cordis was not fooled.
It's a no gain on that defensive stop by Jordan Cordis. Approaching 3 minutes in the game. The ball sets at the 43-yard line. It's 3rd and 8 for the Tigers. Defense needs a stop. Billingsley from the shotgun. 2 receivers left. Gives it inside handoff, cuts it right up the middle, across midfield to the 45 to the 40, where he's finally brought down at the 43-yard line. And on the carry
was Ja'Kai Vaughn.
Ja'Kai Vaughn.
Everybody thought Herrin was going to throw the ball, and they run a player that hasn't touched the ball much tonight at all, but they pick up a first down.
Great play call.
Well, this may come right down to the last play of the game.
I'm telling you. Carterville has the 4-point lead. It's 15-11. But the Herrin Tigers are driving here late. 2:20 remaining in the contest. Billingsley from the shotgun. He's going to keep it. Follow it off right tackle. Tries to get to the outside where he's brought down from behind once again. It's going to be a gain of 4, bringing up 2nd down and 6.
Well, the good thing is he kept him in bounds, so the clock continues to run. Both teams have 3 timeouts left.
Under 2 to play. 2nd down and 7 officially.
And, Dave, this game may come down to Billingsley having to make a play as a passer instead of a runner.
Minute 46, 45, 44. Carterville trying to go to 2-0.
Herrin is wasting a lot of time.
Herrin trying to pick up their first win of the season. At home. Minute 30 on the clock. 9 on the play clock. Billingsley from the shotgun. He gives it to his running back. That is Sisson as he falls forward for about 2. Clock continues to stop now as we have a timeout taken by the Herrin Tigers. We're going to take a break as well. Minute 25 remaining. Carterville nursing a 4-point lead. It's 15-11, but the Tigers are driving here on News Radio WJPF.
Punctual.
What a contest. 15-11 is the score. Minute 25 remaining. And the Herrin Tigers have the football and they need a touchdown to take the lead. And they don't want to give the Lions any time, and there's not much time left on the clock. A minute 25, we're looking at 3rd and 5 from the 34. Billingsley, 2 receivers to the right. It's the quick pitch to the tailback, and he's popped right there. Defense stacks him up, drives him back. Short gain, if anything. And now
it is Zachariah Miller who on the stop. Now Herrin takes their 2nd time out of the game of the half, so they only got 1 timeout left.
We're going to go on and take another 30-second timeout right here as there's a minute 13 remaining at Herrin. Here's the situation. The Carterville Lions have a 4-point lead. It's 15-11. There is a minute 13 remaining in the game. Herrin Tigers are facing a 4th and 5. The ball at the Carterville 34. This is it for the Tigers. They need a first down to keep the drive going, or that could be ball game. Billingsley from the shotgun. Takes the snap. Rolls to his right. Throws it to his right. Incomplete. Carterville holds defensively.
And the ball was thrown short of the first down marker anyway. You have to at least throw the ball to the first down marker, and he didn't. And Carterville has probably survived.
A drive that started with 7:31 remaining. Carterville is taking over with a minute 9 remaining. a 6-minute drive. It's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Carterville
How many
will
timeouts?
take a knee. Herrin will call a timeout. Carterville will take another knee and 2 more knees, and then that should be it.
They line up. It'll be Hellriegel in the V formation. There's the timeout. Boy, I am wore out.
They haven't
Scott
called
Hudson.
timeout.
They let
No, now they do.
They do now. And I am just wore out. What a ball game, though.
It has been physical. You know, the way the third quarter started, 2 quick scores, one by each team, you thought, uh-oh, this thing's going to get a little bit more wide open. Well, that changed. It looked like Carterville was driving for the game-clinching touchdown in the middle of the fourth quarter. But Herrin held on 4th and goal from the 10. And then Herrin moved the ball all the way down to Carterville's 36, 34-yard line. But on 4th down, Billingsley rolled to his right and threw a pass that was not going to be at the 1st down marker. And therefore, you have to hope your receiver can get out of the mess of players that are over there, and he wasn't able to.
Truthfully, I'm going to have to go back and re-listen to this game to figure out exactly what's happened. There's been a lot going on. All right, 1:01 remaining, 61 seconds. And Carterville takes the knee. And the clock rolls. All they got to do is snap it one more time. The play clock has 30 seconds. That'll take it down to 15 for the Lions. So just one more snap. And Carterville is going to escape with the 15-11 win. They approach the line of scrimmage. V formation, snap, knee, game. Carterville beats the Herrin Tigers tonight, 15-11, the final score. Carterville 2-0 on the season. The Herrin Tigers fall to 0-2. What a ball game. Stay with us. Coming up, it's our Firemasters post-game report. It's next on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan College is...
All right, it'll be a 90 here.
The Carterville Lions escape the Herrin Tigers tonight. They come away with a 4-point win. It's 15-11, the final score. A hard-fought game, Scott Hudson, on both sides of the ball. A lot of penalties, a lot of dumb penalties, a lot of missed plays. We've seen a little bit of everything. A punt return for a touchdown. Great 30-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel. But a hard-fought victory, and you can see it on both teams as they're out there talking to their head coaches right now. That was a scrap of a fight, and the Lions come away with the 4-point win.
Yeah, that was like 2 dogs going after the last bone in the yard. And both these teams will sleep well tonight. This was a very physical game from the start. Give Herrin credit. They fell short last week at Marion to the 5A Marion Wildcats, and tonight they came in here playing a Carterville team that, a lot of great things were expected out of this Carterville team. And Herrin took an 11-8 lead in that third quarter, and then Carterville got the ball right back, went down and scored what turned out to be the eventual game-winning touchdown. But this was a battle to the very end. Herrin is 0-2, and I know that you don't like moral victories, but Herrin might be the best 0-2 team in Southern Illinois right now.
I completely agree. The Carterville Lions coaching staff out talking to his players. And, man, you got to wonder about injuries. Zach Miller got hurt on that punt return. But he played. He came back to play in the fourth, and, he's probably just going to be sore. But Carterville comes away with the 15-11 win over the Herrin Tigers as Coach Brett Dial realizes, oh, shoot, I got to go do a radio interview. And he starts making his way toward the press box. Best part of the ball game for you?
The best part for me was Carterville answering Herrin's score with a score right after that to take the lead back at 15. This was the first time this year that Carterville's trailed, the first time they'd faced adversity. How do you handle adversity? Carterville handled it very well. Carterville then opened the game up a little bit with their passing game to take the pressure off the running backs a little bit. To me, that says a lot about Carterville. They were able to change their game plan up a little bit and score that big touchdown there in the third.
They went to what they knew their strength was, and that was the throwing game. It was Hell Regal finding those receivers, and they were chunk plays. They were big plays, especially that 30-yard pass from Hell Regal to Hartford, Nolan Hartford.
Yeah.
And that was the game winner.
Yeah, and honestly, Hell Regal had 2 other touchdown passes, but both were called back by penalties. So, Carterville, I guess the best way to look at this, Carterville escaped because they had so many penalties. They hurt themselves so many times tonight, yet they were fine. They found a way to win, which is what good teams do. When you're not playing your best, when you're kind of hurting yourself, you find a way to win, and Carterville survived. And sometimes, you got to be lucky instead of good.
Coach Brett Dial on his way. He's coming up next here as we continue on our Fire Masters postgame report next on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan.
Yeah, bring him back after this.
All right, you're good to go from here.
We'll close that.
Several good sections for you.
All right,
You're in
bud.
the skimmer.
All right, bud. I appreciate it. (15-11) the final score. The Carterville Lions escape the Herrin Tigers tonight. A 4-point win. Coach Brett Dial joins us here on our Fire Masters post-game report. And I don't know how else to describe it to you, Coach, except Carterville escapes the Herrin Tigers tonight.
Well, I think my good friend, former coach and mentor over at Marion High School said a win is a win is a win.
Exactly.
We'll take it. We're not going to sit there and look at scoreboards and say this and that and what could have, should have happened. But I'm telling you right now, they give Herrin all the credit in the world. They, defensively, they popped us. They were very physical, got to the football very well. We had to adapt, and I tried to tell our guys after the game, it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy in this league, especially when you come over here to Herrin. This is the first time we've ever won here, ever. And they gave us all they could get, including an electric play on special teams. They got the crowd going here in the fourth. And, I just tell you what, man, I'm proud of our guys for staying the course and just finishing that thing off.
And, Coach, after they went up 11-8 on that long punt return for a touchdown, this was the first time your team had been behind in the short 2 weeks of high school football. And you find out a lot about your team when they have to face adversity. And your team got the ball, went right down the field and scored. You went more to the passing game then. And what we didn't see last week, because you didn't have to throw the ball last week, we saw what this team is capable of doing when they have to go to the air.
I don't know how long that drive was, but like you said, the first time we were down this season, we got the ball and we took it, over half the field in a very, very quick manner. And we had some guys make some catches, and Andrew put the ball where it's got to be. And it's not that we're afraid to throw. We kind of got backwards there, when Berkey went out and just. We thought we every time we thought we had them, driving the ball to finish them off and just try to control that clock a little bit, we'd get a penalty, we'd get something called back. I don't know. But, we hung in there, and like I said, we had to find a way to win, and our guys did it.
Just so you know, 3-play drive, a minute, 7 seconds was that.
Yeah,
drive.
so, we didn't panic right there. They're just yelling at me to throw it, and I get it. But once we were up, it became a game of the clock, and we were driving it down to finish it off and get a 2-possession score and can't punch it in. So, we just have to finish off some of those drives. And but like I said, man, you got to give Herrin a lot of credit. They played really well tonight, played very, very physical on defense.
And in a physical game like this that you won, a lot of contributions from a lot of people in this game on your team. But some I want to mention, especially in that fourth quarter that came up big for you on defense. I thought Luke Johnson played an outstanding game tonight at linebacker. You weren't probably going to play Talon Walker, but he came in. He made some big plays when he was brought into the game. Zachariah Miller, I thought he might be done for the whole game, if not longer. He comes back in. So your guys really, really stood tall there late in the game.
At 3:30, I got a text from Talon. Coach, do you think I should dress tonight? I just responded, yeah, you probably should. Well, I'm really glad he dressed because we needed him at the end when some guys went down, and he got cleared today to come back. So luckily that happened for us, or we would have been pretty thin there on the D-line, especially at the end there at the end with some guys having to go out. But like you said, I thought Luke Johnson, you mentioned his name. I noticed him quite a bit. He's a sophomore stepping in at linebacker, first game. How about your first game starting in high school is this one on the road at Herrin, where it was just, it was a fight out there. Man, I'll tell you what, score aside and a little bit of sloppiness, man, that was a great high school football game. That was physical. That's not how the game gets played a whole lot anymore. And both teams were flat out getting after each other. And, man, that was fun. It's easy for me to say that now. But I tell you what, there was some really good play out there and hard fought. And I know my guys are pretty tough.
And, Coach, you brought up a good point. And coming into this season, I really thought your team could play different styles offensively and defensively. Tonight, you had to do. Right. You showed you could play physical. You showed you could play a finesse game with the passing game. Your team is a complete team. You can play pretty much any way that the game is going at that time.
I agree, but 2 weeks in, my only, it's not a concern, it's just things we got to work on a little bit is, we've had a lot of drives get down in the red zone that we don't finish off in these first 2 weeks, and we've got to do a better job of finishing off some of those drives and seizing the opportunity to end that game before the last drive. If we put that ball in on our last series, it's a 2-possession game. This game's over. But we don't get it in, and we have to do a better job of finishing off. And that's my fault. It's it ultimately comes on me. I probably get a little stubborn with some of the calls, and I think I've got something, but they stopped it. So I got to do a little bit better job of mixing things up a little bit quicker and letting our guys go. Because as you saw in that one drive, we went 3 for 3 for I don't know how many yards, but it took a minute 7. I know we can roll. I just, I got to open it up a little bit more, I guess.
Carterville Lions pick up a 4-point win, 15-11 over cross-county rival Herrin Tigers, and you mentioned it, Coach. This was a great football game.
Well, I don't know what you got for players of the game, but, it's got to be on that defensive side of the ball because they haven't given up a touchdown the first 2 weeks. So they've just been fighting. And then, man, I'll tell you what, I got to give the Nelson kid a little bit of credit. That punt return was unreal. we weren't trying to kick it to him, and as soon as he got it, I think everybody in the headset was like, uh-oh.
No, that's not what was said. We can't say what was said.
Maybe. But give that kid a little bit of credit, man. That was a phenomenal return.
Absolutely.
And he's the fastest guy in Southern Illinois, and we're not very smart for kicking him a ball. I can tell you that.
Quickly before we let you go, Murfreesboro next week. They were winning easily over Anna Jonesboro tonight, which was expected. That's another team that loves to run the football.
Well, the thing about Murfreesboro, they're going to run the ball, and they've got some really physical running backs. So, we got a little beat up tonight. I think we're okay, but we got a little beat up. We had to earn it. I definitely think our guys after the first 2 weeks are pretty tested, and we got to get ourselves focused in because we got our hands full next week at home. It'll be a great game.
Coach Brett Dial joining us on our Fire Masters postgame report. Coach, thank you so much, and congratulations on the win. 15-11, the final score. The Carterville Lions pick up the hard-fought victory tonight over the Herrin Tigers.
Well, this was such a hard-fought victory. I think I pulled a hamstring and maybe lost a tooth. I'm not for sure. I'll have to check when I get home.
Good thing you had your helmet with your double
That's
chin
right.
strap on
Yeah.
tonight.
I'm glad I did that. My one-bar helmet, by the way.
Yes.
But this was just an outstanding high school football game, like Coach Dial said. Two teams just out there battling for every inch, every yard that they could. And, I kind of forgot about this, and Coach Dial brought it up. Carterville's defense through 2 weeks has not allowed a touchdown. Special teams allowed the one tonight to Herrin. Carterville defense has not allowed a touchdown this year. So great job by the Carterville defense, especially on that last drive, especially on fourth down. They did not let Herrin pick up that first down and continue their drive. So as Coach said, a win's a win's a win. It doesn't matter. They're 2-0. And they got a big game next week at home against the Murfreesboro Red Devils.
And our star of the game is that Carterville defense. We'll just say that. Next week at home, Murfreesboro Red Devils come to town. Both teams undefeated. That is going to be an outstanding contest. We'll have pregame coverage starting at about 6:40. 15-11, the final score. Carterville gets their first win ever at Herrin High School, and they did it in a fantastic ball game here tonight. For our producer engineer back at the studio, Brian Arpal, BRP, my broadcast partner, Mr. Scott Hudson, I'm Dave McKenzie. Thank you so much for tuning in to Carterville Lions Sports here on News Radio WJPF. God bless everybody. Thanks, bub.